Hey guys, some gamer dude here, so I'm finally back and I want to do a little video off the cuff before I script things, because I'm scripting at the moment. I've got a few videos in the pipeline and I just want to get this off my chest before we get to that. So, there's something that's really important with Vanguard at the moment that I think is very interesting. I think it's happening for a few reasons, and it's very detrimental to the game. It's not retaining players. This is serious for its future. There's a lot of anecdotal evidence going around that locals aren't retaining players. The reboot did phenomenally well. It sold like gangbusters when it first came out. Keywords first came out. Now it's just petered out. You're seeing a lot of people selling out. It's just not in a good place. You don't see much engagement other than standard shit, I want to sell this, or these are the cards they showed off. There's no real engagement, not on the Facebook groups, not on Reddit, not on the Discords, nothing. Nowhere is really having that much player interaction. Vanguard's whole community is just falling through the floor. It's basically the bare minimum. This is where Force of Will was when things were really hurting over there. And I think it's happening for a few reasons. People don't seem to like Standard very much. They are finding the exact same problems that have always plagued Vanguard. Few decks reign overall. The rest are casual only or for the bin. This has always been a problem with the game. It's a symptom of there being way too many clans, and apparently power creep is happening again. I've got to look at current things. I really haven't had the interest, but from what I hear, a lot of screeching. Power creep is happening, and it's not a good thing. It's not where the reboot should have went before, and not when all the clans aren't revealed yet. Maybe next block to force you to buy things, because Bushrod has a bad problem where they can only get people to buy things when things power creep. They can't make new interesting cards that are appealing. But yeah, that's part of it. People get jack of having to buy new decks because the stuff they like isn't viable. So they sell off the stuff that isn't viable, and it's a constant act of losing money. It's a rat race, and it's not a very enjoyable one. The other factor is there are greener pastures out there. I'll get into that game in a second, but just put those two together in the first place and you see the exact problem why people would go away. You've got the exact same problems you've always had. People notice this, and there are better places to be. Why would anyone stay? But the thing is, there's a new game. Well, it's not new now, but came out about a year and a half ago, I'd say. It's the new shit. It's doing phenomenally well. Even for this franchise, it's doing well. And it plays significantly similarly to Vanguard and Force of Will. So Vanguard and Force of Will are probably both hurting from this game. This is Dragon Ball Super. Dragon Ball Super is doing amazingly well. More than I really expected it to do. I kind of expected it to be a flash in the pan, because it's just kind of Vanguard cross Force of Will. But between the reinvigoration of Dragon Ball, thanks to the anime Dragon Ball Super, and at the time Dragon Ball Super came out, basically every game that wasn't Pokemon, or even Final Fantasy was fucked at the time. So every game that wasn't Pokemon was fucked at the time, because Final Fantasy couldn't get product into people's hands. They didn't care anymore. They went to Dragon Ball Super. What I suspect happened was people came back to check out the Vanguard reboot, played it for a little bit, then went, no, this is still shit. This still has all the problems I didn't like about G or the original or whatever, and just sold out and went back to Dragon Ball Super. And I don't blame them. Dragon Ball Super, in many ways, is a fixed... Well, maybe not fixed, but it's got enough of Vanguard's elements while adding elements of a more mentally stimulating game. This is through it having instants and the freeform tone and everything. It feels more mentally satisfying. It just feels like a better game in many respects. Plus, it's got the Dragon Ball license. It's got a lot going for it. And I don't know where Bushiroad goes from here. I think they're fucked, to be honest. The Dragon Ball Super game has to start hurting for them to have a chance again. And by that time, will they have the finances to reinvigorate Vanguard again? Vanguard's reboot happened way too late or way too soon, depending on your point of view. It didn't strike at the right time. It didn't do what it originally did. It didn't do what Dragon Ball Super did. Card games only seem to do well now if they strike while the iron is hot and someone else is failing. Vanguard got popular because Yu-Gi-Oh! Was failing. Dragon Ball Super got popular because everyone else was failing. Well, that isn't Pokemon. And I just don't think Vanguard has the opportunity. I don't think really at the moment anything has the opportunity because Yu-Gi-Oh! Is starting to become obscure now. Pokemon's just being Pokemon. Magic's new sets have been really decent. Dominaria onwards has been pretty good. And Dragon Ball Super's surprisingly well handled. The market only has space for so many games. And we've pretty much got them now. We've got the standard 3 Magic, Pokemon and Yu-Gi-Oh! And the anime flavour of the month, which is Dragon Ball Super. And given that Dragon Ball's got that renaissance going on at the moment with Dragon Ball Super, the Dragon Ball Z movies before that, etc., and there's tons and tons of merchandise, I don't think Dragon Ball Super, the card game, is going to end anytime soon. Not only is there no reason to, from a popularity point of view, there's no point because I think Bandai, unless something goes radically wrong, is in here for the long haul. Much like Naruto before them, it's a case of, well, this is making money, we're going to produce it. And we're going to try and push it and make as much money as possible because they're a business and they're not stupid. Bushiroad has to kind of settle for where Vanguard is, much like Force of Will does in a lot of ways. Force of Will also struck while the iron was hot. Vanguard wasn't doing crash hot. Magic wasn't doing crash hot. It came out, it did phenomenally well, and then it fucked up and lost everyone. It's really hard to build back that community again if you're not part of the big three. And I think this is the big lesson learned from this. So I think we're going to start to see Vanguard become a bit more niche unless something happens to Dragon Ball Super and Bushiroad can make Vanguard very appealing again. And I know people didn't like it in the G era, but I think a more balanced version of shields to do something in your opponent's turn, to give the game more interactivity, to appeal to adults, would probably be the best place to go in my opinion. As someone who likes card design, that would be the place I'd go. That'd be the untapped potential. That'd be where I go to try to attract that older audience that honestly I think is the people they're trying to attract with a reboot in the first place. Anyway, that's it for today's video. Gotta edit this. I haven't done that in a while, so it's not going to be fun. And got a few more scripting things to do, and hopefully I can start getting back into the rhythm of things very soon. I'll see you guys next time, and thanks for watching.